Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be working on replacing the door cable driver's side for the Ferrari 348. So if you own a Ferrari 348 and you've ran into this issue or curious about what problems and repairs I've had to do on this car myself, this is going to be the first video kind of walking into it. So something that's been a long ongoing issue I've yet to address but now get the chance to is fixing the cable to be able to let myself in and outside this damn car. So what I've read, there's two different ways to do this. You can get access to the inside or the outside right here. So you can see the 1, 2, 3, and 4 under there for the Allen key bolts to be removed and pull the shrake off, and I guess had better access probably with that window rolled up as well. So as I learned, I'm gonna show you guys how to get this fixed. So get the idea, got the cable in finally after a few months, thanks to Charlie at Ferrari of Denver for helping me. Basically what happened is the over 20-year-old part, this little L shape right here, finally snapped and is not hooked onto that door handle anymore, so that's why I can't open the damn door. So kind of run through some of the tools and stuff that are used. You can see that is going to be the size to be able to go ahead and get those screws out, and hopefully that shrake removes a little easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that. I'll go ahead and roll that window up and we'll take a look at the inside and see what needs to happen from there. Got those 4 screws off from the front side. You can see them on the ground right there. Something else I didn't get to read up on but caught eye of is under the top right there. You see that little section. There's gonna be one more Allen key bolt on the top side. I apologize, it doesn't say the size on this and I'm blind as shit if it is on there. So that is one to keep mind of. You are also going to need a good old 10 mil, more than likely with an extension. It's on the front side of this. Over here there is that top bolt, and trying to see on the bottom back there, tucked right underneath down there. Those are gonna be the last two need to remove to get this off. So basically that top one keeps that from dropping down, so I'm gonna have to be careful loosening the front side so this guy doesn't just hit the ground. Be big sad. So I'll go ahead and remove those two. I did look, and I'll show you guys as well real quick. If you can take a look right there, you can see the window is just of course in the way. So roll the window up, get those 2 bolts off, get this removed, and we'll take a look on the inside and see how easy and the accessibility is to get that cable swapped out. So give me a minute on that and we'll see how this goes. All right, so this is what it looks like with the shrake removed. Crazy of how deep it actually dives into the door itself. I haven't seen this before, so this is actually kind of interesting. But we'll take a look on the inside now with the window up, and it's gonna be this guy right here. It's gonna be the cable that has no play, no grab to go ahead and open this door, but it looks like it goes underneath through here. Let me see at the bottom, chasing down, and then all the way on up, which I'm assuming is gonna be connected to the outside button. So I'm gonna do is get a flashlight in there. I'm gonna work that out and see how difficult it is. It looks like it might be easier on the top side where the handle is from the inside of the car. Might be a pain in the ass up there. I know it's pretty tight fitting tools in that area because we've had to go ahead and adjust the window a few times just because it's such an old car and stuff starts to loosen up, or of course old clips and stuff break. So something to keep in mind too, because they are, I don't know, my 2 bottom ones right here were actually loose. I'm assuming just from over time shaking and all that stuff, they kind of backed out. So instead of using an impact or a drill, I do suggest using a screwdriver that has that attachment for the Allen key. And then there's me right there. But I would suggest breaking them loose by hand rather than an impact tool or anything like that. That way you don't accidentally snap or break one of those things. If that happens, I don't know how much of a pain in the ass that'd be to get out, but I think that's the last thing we want to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and work that cable out and see what it looks like. All right, so it is a pain in the ass, but got the old one out and gonna get the new one in. But before I do that, I'm gonna show you guys kind of what you need to do and move around. Sorry, I already lost my flashlight. Like half the tools I've been using. I see a light in here. And oh, there it is. All right, so probably the first thing, don't lose your light. So like I said or showed, that cable did run from the top side, from the handle going down. It was zip tied. As you can see, they probably were already in this door at some point, but it was zip tied to this old zip tie, so they broke off pretty easy. Going along the back side over here, that hole, there's an old clip that popped into that, traced around the bottom and up top. So looking up in there, it does connect to the door latch. You can see that open area you see through the door. That is about where it connects to. What you're gonna want to do to make it a lot easier is on this outside back here, right on this top, I'll put a light on that for you to see. That is where it's gonna run through. So this is what was popped in, has a little connector. Careful, I would assume not to break this. I doubt you could find that at like AutoZone. So it looks like you just kind of pop out the side right here and pull that L shape back, and then just pops right on in. So luckily that is brand new, and as you can't see with this, gloves would probably be safe, so you don't cut yourself on any of this while working on the door cable. But it's almost easier without the gloves, so if that is the case, be careful. So with that, even the old clips, yeah, broke as shit. Old clips did get beat up. Did manage to save one. I'll probably do the same thing as some old zip ties to secure that back to the cable and run it through. So yeah, pull that old little clip off, put on the new one. That is going to be the correct side for what goes into the door. Clips around that, and what was missing, you can see a huge difference here. Bam, new, of course old. So this just kind of slides through the hole for the handle, and then this literally just pops right in with the tension on it, holding it to the door handle on the inside. So that won't be too much of a pain in the ass. I think fishing the other side back through and connecting is what's gonna suck. So let me go ahead and work on that, and we'll look at the final result and see if I could get out of this car. So I got it all connected, and I'm gonna show you guys what I had to do to fight the front and back side of that cable in, what I did to secure it real quick. So saved one clip, perfect. Bottom one didn't work out, broke that, you know, the old shitty plastic part that popped in, but I did go ahead and zip tie it back to the other areas where it was before. Up top, that bottom nut, you do have to screw that through so it goes all the way through the hole and bottoms out. There's a little locking nut on top that secures it, and as you can see up there, it does have that L shape. It does go through the little hole to the bottom of the door handle. I went ahead and just added a small sturdy zip tie, just because it's happened a few times where the L shape portion of it, sorry, this guy, you see it's short as shit, and when pulling up the latch, it just kind of leaned back and pops out. So that zip tie does have it kind of wedged and a little bit more secured. I think it's a pretty, I mean, it's old, but just kind of a poor design. Even with this, it should have been kind of like a J hook at least, so it doesn't pop off when you go and open the door. So that is locked in. Sorry, trying to show you guys too. I had to do this twice. I completely spaced out. You see right there where this black cable goes up, you do have to have that bottom portion in through that little hole right there, and then further past that, see if I can get it to, there we go, focus a little better. Just above, you can see the actual cable going up into the back of the latch. Make sure you run that through first. I accidentally ran it over and around this door latch and realized, well, that was not the move, so I had to redo that. All in all, I'd say it's like a 6 out of 10. The only reason why it is tedious and a pain in the ass. You can see that moving right there. I'm pushing the outside door handle so you can get an idea. Fishing that little L hook back in through. I advise putting in the plastic clip first. If you can, have someone go ahead and push the outside door handle to have this lever down, so you can first of all see what the hell you're doing, and also get that little cable. I was trying to find a screwdriver, so I'm just kind of wiggle around for you to see better. But plastic clip first, then the end of the door cable, pop it in, and you are all set. So thankfully, and yes, I have grease all over this car because my filthy ass hands, but outside still works. And thankfully I am going to go ahead and wipe all this down, of course, when I'm done. But finally able to get out of the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw those 2 bolts back in, climb out of this car, 2 bolts back in, the 4 on the front of the strakes, and that should be it. Be all good to go on this. So all finished up, and again, I would definitely say maybe like a 5, maybe a 6 out of 10 on difficulty, only because it's so tedious on just kind of fiddling with the back side of that cable more than anything. So there are 2 ways of pulling, well, I guess having access to that cable is through the outside, those strakes, and of course, I mean, you can even see from the passenger side, there are those 3 to 4 covers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, with that, you do have to remove the handle, all that other stuff. I did that before the first time, and it's actually miserable. Broke a few clips I have to replace. So outside access, just those 4 mentioned screws, bolts, whatever, that is the easiest way of doing this. If I have to do this again on the passenger side, I mean, it probably took me about maybe a good hour, to be honest, just to kind of go through, see where I messed up and what I had to do to be able to get that cable switched out. So I would say outsides, to have access to that cable. Something I didn't mention is for tightening that lower bolt to the bottom of the cable going up to the door handle, you want a size 8 wrench to go ahead and tighten that. And also, I would definitely recommend a flathead, just to pop that clip out that I showed earlier that was stuck on the original door cable. So that being the case, everything is done. It opens so smooth with the handle now. Tried it a few times just to make sure, but yeah, that is great. So hopefully any of the car shows, car meets, will get this too. You don't see me going like this, reaching, trying to find the door handle, kind of like that right there, you know, pushing the damn button to open it. Now, you know, myself or anyone that's watching this, just to kind of do this repair, you could open your handle from the inside and get out of your car. That, or unless you want to do the good old Ricky Bobby and jumping down the window, I mean, more power to you. So yeah, that is the do-it-yourself repair. Save you a good couple $100 and taking it to the dealership on getting that driver, and I'm assuming passenger should be the exact same, but getting that cable switched out, save you a couple $100. The part itself, I think, came out to like maybe $150, maybe $180, just depends. If you can't find it local to you at a Ferrari dealership, I think Fur Parts, they are a good source for any replacements. Some of the stuff I will talk about, more than likely, if I don't get to the new suspension going on the car and the old suspension coming out, I'll probably chat about some of the stuff that has been a loss on this car, like stuff that has failed or gave way, and what I did to either fix, replace, and kind of what the cost would be to repair or do yourself. So yeah, that's it. That is going to be the fix for this car on the door cable. So thank you guys for tuning in.